As we gather on this Simchat Torah morning, exactly 1 year according to the Hebrew calendar after the horrific events of October 7th, we say, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, as for our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel who are in distress or captivity, may God have mercy on them and bring them from distress to comfort, from darkness to light, from slavery to redemption, now swiftly and soon. For the house of Israel is still suffering in the wake of this attack, still mourning the loss of some 1,200 souls, still grieving those who were ruthlessly stolen. On that Simchat Torah morning 1 year ago, the world cracked open, never to be the same again. The gaping wound remains, as does the sorrow for all that was and all that will never be. To all we've lost, our hearts remain tethered to you. You who danced until dawn, you who resisted death until the very end, you who defended your home with courage unbounded, you who sacrificed so that others might live, you who fought your captors with unfathomable bravery, you who would not let go of your children or your partner or your belief in humanity. We mourn for you. We long for you. And perhaps irrationally, we search for you because it feels like you were here just a moment ago, as vibrant and beautiful and alive as ever. Undo it, writes author Nessa Rappaport. Take it back. Make every day the previous one until I am returned to the day before the one that made you gone. Is there some way to take it all back? To rewind our lives to that day before? Is there some trick by which we can turn back time that we might live blissfully unaware of our impending grief? Can we circle the earth like Superman and go back to a time before tragedy befell us, before death overtook us, before the pain set in? Can we go back and stay in that place forever? Grief reminds us there's always a time before illness, a time before sorrow, a time before calamity strikes, a time before death. And oh, how we yearn for that time. Sara Wildman is an author and New York Times editor who tragically lost her 14-year-old daughter, Orly, to cancer. She writes longingly of the days before her Orly became ill. I can see Orly, her hair still long, untouched by the ravages of cancer treatment, by turns serious and silly, chasing her sister and cousins, healthy, red-cheeked, unaware of what was to come. I have a photo of her as a toddler in a dress from my childhood, a red checkered pinafore, years away from the abyss. Memory in all its messy complexity can catapult us to a time years away from the abyss, to days untouched by sorrow, to moments untainted by grief. It can be a balm reliving those days of vitality and joy. And sometimes these distant memories feel so tangible and so real that we momentarily forget our loss, our pain, our sorrow. And sometimes, immersed as we are in these memories, we wonder, however fantastically, whether there might be some alternate universe in which none of our collective losses actually happened, in which all of our loved ones who've gone are still here among us and beside us. Israeli journalist Goel Pinto, still deep in mourning after October 7th, presents this possibility in a poem. He writes, "Maybe it never was. Maybe it didn't happen. The soles of our feet pace on the cold floor, whispering, maybe it never was. Maybe it didn't happen. Drops of coffee drip into the glass, singing, maybe it never was. Maybe it didn't happen." Goel Pinto, like so many of us, longs to live in a place where his grief never was, where his losses never happened. And like us, he yearns to be in a world where his loved ones live on, where hope remains, where dreams blossom unabated, and where laughter exists without tears. Could we all live in that world? That magical place where none of this happened? If only we could. But we know deep in our hearts what Goel Pinto acknowledges in the last lines of his poem when he writes, "It was. It happened. October 7th was. It happened. Our beloved ones were here, but they are no more. Our losses are real, and they are profound." Dear friends, we are here because we have lost beloved ones whose lives were intimately woven into our own, cherished ones whose wisdom we sought and whose laughter we adored, precious ones whose love we treasured more than life itself. We come here to this place of sanctuary to remember them and to honor them and to affirm their everlasting presence among us. And while our beloved cannot be with us as they once were, they are still very much in our midst. As Rachel Goldberg Polin wrote in her eulogy for her son Hirsch, "I know you are right here. I just have to teach myself to feel you in a new way." And we must do the same. On this Simchat Torah morning, as we celebrate the eternal teachings of our Torah, perhaps we can feel our dear ones in a new way, a way paved in Torah. For it has been said that every person is a Torah, and the imprint of our lives can be likened to a scroll rife with knowledge and truth, insight and understanding. What we learn and see and absorb amounts to a personal Torah that we share with those around us, a Torah of life and love that is unique to each and every one of us. Rabbi Lawrence Kushner teaches each person has a Torah, his or her innermost teaching. Some are long, some short. Some are intricate and poetic, others are only a few words, and still others can only be spoken through gesture and example. But every soul has a Torah. For each soul, by the time of his or her final hour, the Torah is complete, the teaching done. Today, as we lovingly recall those we've lost, our beloved ones, and our Achenu, our brothers and sisters taken from us on Simchat Torah last year. As we recall them today, let us hold on to the Torah they've left behind, their innermost teachings, their deepest wisdom, their singular perspectives. Let us cherish their stories and anecdotes, their sayings and aphorisms, their histories and heritage. Let us remember the way they moved through life and the values that guided them. And let us remember the way life moved through them and the extraordinary love that inspired them. May we carry this sacred Torah, the Torah of every cherished soul we've lost, with us as we make our way through this world. May it be with us as we wake and as we sleep, as we build and as we dream. May it comfort us and strengthen us. May it gird us and guide us, and may it illuminate our lives with endless love and light and wonder. And may this precious Torah be for us an eternal remembrance of all those who are now gone. Every person is a Torah, and every life a scroll to unfurl. May the immortal and irreplaceable and invaluable Torah of our dearest ones accompany us on our journeys today and tomorrow and always. We say Zichronam Livracha. May the memories of our beloved ones forever be a blessing, and may their souls be bound up in the bonds of life for all eternity. Amen.